It is finally here, part 3 of easy tips and tricks to land in sparring. Okay, so let's dive right into it. If you want to land in sparring, you need to counter the jab. The jab is used to dictate range, pace, and rhythm. By countering it, you can take away your opponent's main tool for control. Listen, a well-timed counter against the jab punishes your opponent for throwing technically their safest punch, forcing hesitation and leaving openings later. So again, if you want to land in sparring, you gotta counter the jab. It's also gonna set up ring generalship, because whoever wins the jab battle often controls the fight. Countering effectively means you're not just surviving their jab, but you're making them pay, which can flip momentum in your favor. And this is where the game begins. Now my opponent is already catching on and is already out of the way of my next jab and is catching on to my tricks and my rhythm. He sees that I'm playing around with catching his jab hand, and when he knows it's coming, he ducks under now. But we still have so much more games to play in the ring. Remember, if a shot does land on you, you can immediately improve. I landed a jab on him earlier, and 20 seconds later, he already ducks under the next one, improving his fight IQ almost immediately. So, remember, the game is fast. You can change the pace, the momentum at any moment. And like you just saw, eventually your opponent will catch on to your tricks and you will have to mix it up. And here's something you can do. Force defensive reactions. You could do that by feinting, by making your opponent think you're about to attack, so maybe they'll cover up, and that reaction creates a gap that you can exploit with your real punches. I personally like using my right hand as a feint to set up my jab, because it naturally puts you in this position where you can turn and torque that jab over in a single second. And if you turn that jab hand vertically, it can sneak through that guard in that little window that's open, and you can land that shot you're looking for. So remember, feinting adds hesitation in your opponent's mind, and it gives you control of the pace. Moving on with the breakdown, we need to not telegraph. Instead of telegraphing your punches, use a feint to disguise your timing and direction. Good feints can help break up the flow of the fight. If you're predictable, your opponent's gonna time you easily. And feints tire out your opponent. Making someone bite on feints constantly drains their energy, both physically and mentally. They make unnecessary defensive movements, and they second guess themselves, and then that shot will come. And to end this video, we have one more clip to break down, and it goes back to the fakes and feints again. This is something you're going to have to use all day, every day when you spar if you want to get in there and land your shots clean. Right here, we throw a right hand to get our opponent to simply shell up. And also, when you throw punches at your opponent, usually they're going to want to counter. So we throw a fake one to set up the real one, because, like we said, when you throw fake punches, the opponent thinks they're real. They want to counter them. They don't want to sit there and get bombed on, so they might open up for a split second. That means you have a second to land your shot and get the hell out of there. Or opponent made the mistake of keeping his right hand a little too low when he opened up. You can see it under his armpit. But what's going to happen is our opponent is most likely going to correct that defensive mistake, and we'll have to come up with something else to land. So please, get used to using your brain constantly so you can analyze your opponent's rhythm, habits, and patterns. And there's a word for someone who doesn't use their brain, and that, my friend, is an idiot. And you're not an idiot. Are you? No. So like and subscribe.